85% of people struggle with low self-esteem, often linked to negative self-talk at some point in their lives. Now, that's a number big enough to stop us in our tracks and make us ask, what's going on in our minds? Today, we're diving deep into a topic that is as challenging as it is transformative: killing your negative thinking. This isn't just about silencing that inner critic, it's about empowering ourselves to live more fulfilling lives. In the world of Stoicism, we find a profound understanding that our thoughts are not mere whispers in the mind, they are the loud voices that dictate our happiness and our suffering. Stoic wisdom teaches us that while the world might not bend to our will, our perception of it is entirely up to us. The Stoics weren't just ancient philosophers, they were the ultimate mental warriors, battling against the tyranny of uncontrolled thoughts and emotions with rationality and inner calm. Today, I'm here to guide you through understanding how these negative thoughts impact us and to explore practical Stoic strategies to combat them. We'll learn how to harness the power of our minds to construct a life not bounded by the chains of negativity but propelled by the virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. If you're skeptical, I encourage you to stay with me. This might challenge some of your deepest held beliefs, but it will also open the door to a new horizon of personal growth. Before we jump in, I invite you to share this video with others who are on their own journey of personal growth and philosophical exploration. And if you appreciate the insights we're exploring here and want to support our journey into Stoicism, a simple, free favor I'll ask from you is to hit the subscribe button. Let's get started. Understanding the problem. Negative thinking isn't just an occasional nuisance or a fleeting bad mood, it's a pervasive issue that can dramatically impact every facet of our lives. From how we feel when we wake up in the morning to the choices we make about our health, careers, and relationships, these thoughts can be debilitating. But what really is negative thinking? At its core, it's a pattern of anticipating the worst, undermining our own efforts, and often assuming we are less capable or deserving than we truly are. Now, why do we fall into this trap? The Stoic philosophers believed that it's not the events themselves that disturb us but rather our interpretations of these events. Epictetus famously said, "Men are disturbed not by things but by the view which they take of them." This perspective is at the heart of understanding our problem with negative thinking. It's not necessarily the reality that constrains us, it's the lens through which we view our world. Carl Jung's exploration of the psyche provides further insight. He recognized that much of our negative thinking stems from the less conscious parts of our mind, the personal and collective unconscious. Jung wrote, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." By bringing these unconscious beliefs and biases into the light of conscious examination, we can begin to mitigate their control over us. Consider for a moment the impact this has on our everyday life. When faced with a challenge, negative thinking can make us feel as though we've already lost before we've begun, preventing us from taking the very actions that could lead to success. It's like being in a boat and rowing with all your might but not realizing you're anchored to the shore. No matter how hard you try, you're not going anywhere. Stoicism teaches us to examine our thoughts critically and logically, to question the validity of these negative assumptions. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations prompts us to reflect on our thoughts with scrutiny and to dismiss those that are irrational or unhelpful. This kind of introspection allows us to detach from harmful thinking patterns and regain control of our mental landscape. Let's not underestimate the influence of our societal and cultural backdrop. In a world saturated with messages of not being enough, whether it's not successful enough, rich enough, or smart enough, it's easy to see why negative thoughts can creep in. These messages often find fertile ground in the mind, sprouting weeds of doubt and insecurity that can choke our potential. But Stoicism arms us with the tools to clear out these weeds and cultivate a garden of more supportive, empowering thoughts. This issue of negative thinking is what we're tackling today. It's not just about dismissing or avoiding negative thoughts but understanding them deeply, questioning them thoroughly, and then replacing them with reasoned, constructive thinking. This Stoic approach isn't just about coping, it's about thriving. By mastering our thoughts, we master our perceptions and, ultimately, our lives. So, as we continue, let's keep in mind that each thought we choose to entertain and each one we decide to challenge is a step toward the kind of life we truly want to live. Origins of negative thinking. Understanding the origins of negative thinking is essential if we are to address it effectively. This isn't just about identifying bad habits, it's about uncovering the deep-seated roots that shape our perceptions and influence our mental landscape. Negative thoughts often sprout from a variety of sources: our upbringing, societal pressures, past failures, and sometimes the seemingly inconsequential comments from those around us. Each of these can plant seeds of doubt, fear, and limitation, which can mature into a persistent state of negativity. From a very young age, many of us are introduced to environments that might not foster positive self-esteem. Consider a child who is repeatedly told they are not smart enough, or an educational system that seems to reward only perfection. These experiences can significantly color our worldview. Aristotle once remarked that we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act but a habit. If we apply this thinking to the mind, we see that repeated negative thoughts can become a habit of seeing ourselves and our capabilities in a diminished light. Our own experiences of failure and rejection serve to reinforce these negative scripts. Every time we face a setback or encounter criticism, it can affirm a negative internal dialogue that whispers, "I knew I couldn't do it." This can turn into a self-fulfilling prophecy, not because we lack capability but because we begin to act in ways that align with our negative beliefs. Plato's idea that reality is created by the mind, we can change our reality by changing our mind, is profoundly relevant here. By examining and challenging our interpretations of these events, we can begin to reshape our mental landscape and break free from the cycle of negativity. We can start to dismantle the foundation of our negative thoughts. Fear also plays a critical role in fostering negative thinking. It's a natural protective mechanism that often spirals into excessive worry or anxiety, overshadowing our rational judgment. Fear of failure, fear of the unknown, and fear of rejection can all lead to catastrophic thinking, where the mind jumps to the worst possible outcomes. Stoicism offers a tool against this: the premeditation of evils, which involves visualizing the worst-case scenario in detail to lessen its emotional impact when or if it actually occurs. Carl Jung suggested that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Many of our negative thoughts are rooted in unconscious beliefs formed in our early years, influenced by our guardians, teachers, and the media. These unconscious beliefs often go unchallenged because they are not fully known to our conscious mind. Making these beliefs conscious can rob them of their power and allow us to regain control of our thoughts. Moreover, societal and cultural pressures cannot be overlooked. We live in a society that often emphasizes scarcity and competition, setting exceptionally high standards that can seem unattainable. This environment can lead to constant comparisons and feelings of never being good enough. Stoicism teaches us to redirect our focus from external validation to internal virtues, encouraging us to measure success by our personal growth rather than by comparison to others. The roots of negative thinking are varied and complex, involving personal history, emotional experiences, ingrained fears, and societal messages. However, by leveraging the wisdom of both Western philosophy and psychology, particularly the Stoic focus on controlling our perceptions and reactions, we can begin to understand and unravel these negative thought patterns. This deep understanding not only helps mitigate their effects, but empowers us to reconstruct our mental framework in a more positive and resilient way. ***, renew your mind. ***. When we talk about renewing our minds, we're not just suggesting a fleeting attempt to think more positively. We're advocating for a profound and enduring transformation of our internal dialogue. This is about cultivating a mindset that enables us not just to survive but to thrive. The Stoic philosophers offer timeless guidance on how this can be achieved through the disciplined practice of reflecting on our thoughts and deliberately shaping them to foster resilience and peace. One of the central tenets of Stoicism is the idea that our emotions and reactions are the results of our judgments, which are within our power to change. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor and philosopher, once noted, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This powerful assertion reminds us that renewal begins by seizing control of our thoughts, scrutinizing them for accuracy, and then aligning them with our true intentions and values. Aristotle also provides a valuable perspective here. He said, "Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom." This introspective journey involves diving deep into our thought patterns and identifying those that serve us well versus those that sabotage our efforts. By becoming more aware of our thoughts, we can begin to challenge the negative ones that have perhaps become ingrained over time. This process of challenging and changing our thoughts isn't about denying our emotions, but about understanding them better and thus managing them more effectively. Moreover, Carl Jung's insights into the human psyche complement this Stoic wisdom beautifully. Jung argued that what you resist not only persists but will grow in size. Instead of resisting negative thoughts, Stoicism teaches us to acknowledge them, analyze their origin, and assess their truthfulness. This method prevents these thoughts from festering in the shadows of our unconscious, where they can grow unchecked. Additionally, renewing the mind requires us to engage with materials and activities that nurture positivity and growth. This might include reading philosophical texts that challenge our understanding, engaging with art that inspires us, or simply spending time in reflection and meditation. These activities provide new narratives and perspectives that can replace our old, unhelpful stories. Socrates' insistence on the importance of living an examined life plays a crucial role here. By continually examining our beliefs and the thoughts that stem from them, we engage in a process of mental renewal that keeps our minds agile and our spirits aligned with our philosophical goals. This ongoing examination isn't merely a task, but a way of living that keeps our internal world refreshed and attuned to the reality of our experiences. Plato also emphasized the importance of aligning with the forms, the ideal versions of justice, beauty, and goodness. In a similar vein, renewing our minds can be seen as an effort to align our thoughts with the most virtuous and empowered versions of ourselves. By aspiring to these ideals, we craft a self-concept that is robust, compassionate, and deeply wise. To put all of this into practice, we can start each day with a simple affirmation or a Stoic reflection that sets the tone for the type of thoughts we wish to nurture. Whether it's a quote from Epictetus about the power of our responses or a Jungian mantra that reminds us of the strength found in facing our shadows, these daily practices are the building blocks for a renewed mind. Surround yourself with positivity. This principle involves consciously choosing our environment, people, places, and media that supports and enhances our mental and emotional well-being. As Seneca famously advised, associate with people who are likely to improve you. This guidance encourages us to be selective about our company and to cultivate relationships that inspire and challenge us to grow. Aristotle also touched on the importance of the company we keep when he discussed friendship. He categorized friendships into 3 types, those of utility, pleasure, and the good. The highest and most valuable form of friendship, the friendship of the good, is based on mutual respect and admiration of each other's virtues. These are the relationships that encourage us to become better versions of ourselves. They are inherently positive because they are rooted in a mutual striving for virtue and excellence. Moreover, Plato's allegory of the cave teaches us about the impact of our environment on our perception of reality. Those who lived in the cave believed shadows cast on the walls were reality because that was all they had been exposed to. When one of them escapes and sees the world outside, he realizes the limitations of his understanding and becomes capable of achieving a higher state of knowledge. This metaphor beautifully illustrates how expanding our surroundings to include positive and enlightening influences can profoundly change our perspective and understanding. Carl Jung's ideas about the collective unconscious and the archetypes also provide insight into the importance of surrounding ourselves with positivity. According to Jung, our psyche is influenced by shared memories and ideas that form the collective unconscious. These shared cultural elements shape how we perceive the world and ourselves. By choosing environments that are supportive and positive, we can influence the archetypes that dominate our personal narratives, shifting from those that emphasize fear and inadequacy to those that embody strength and self-actualization. In practical terms, surrounding ourselves with positivity means more than just being around cheerful people. It involves engaging with content and activities that reinforce our philosophical and life goals.